Hi, guys. Welcome to another Deciding Factor Extra. I'm John, and Alton is out to play still. He's hunting, having fun without me, so I'm a little down. But I do have Barb here with me, so she's going to have some fun again. And we are doing yet another Think Fast segment. So make your decisions quick. We're going to do it. We're going to get through it, hopefully, and maybe we'll have less friends by the end of it. Is that the goal?
Or we'll have more friends, double the friends, and Alton won't want to go hunting anymore because he's missing out.
Yes. So, Alton, if you're listening to this, we missed you, but we got to keep going. We're having too much fun. So, guys, this is the Deciding Factor Extra.
Bringing you their thoughts on today's news and current events. Coming to you from Austin, Texas, this is the Deciding Factor Extra. With your hosts, Alton Hill and John Herzog.
Guys, welcome to another segment of Thinking Fast. Make sure you click like and subscribe to our channels. You're going to miss out if you don't. We do live shows from time to time. We do these little fun extra segments. This is not our normal podcast, so don't think you'll see this every Monday like you will our other shows, which we've got some interesting guests still to come, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. We've got an awesome lineup. I'm really excited about
it. All right. So are you ready to get in trouble now?
Yes. It's what I live for.
All right. So we just have random questions that we came up with, and we're going to go through the list. We'll probably get about 5 in, but we're going to tell you our thoughts and feelings on these questions and try not to piss off too many people. But
speak for yourself. I don't think that's really in my mind right now. What I was thinking is that after we answer, I would really like to see everyone click like, subscribe, follow, do all the things, and then comment. I want to hear other people's answers.
Yeah, unfortunately, we talked about underwear last time, so
it's a relevant question.
Yeah, and I felt like maybe I probably shared too much, but whatever. We'll see what happens this time. All right, so your starting question, Barb. Who names the baby?
The one that pushes it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Just straight up, the woman gets to choose because the guy's not.
No, actually, I'm going to have. There has to be a caveat because there needs to be dad involvement. Otherwise, the woman, after having pushed that out, is still kind of doped up. And she's like, we ought to name the babe Area Franco. And she's like, what? Like, you can't even spell that.
Veto.
Men have to be there to tell us how the name's going to get made fun of. It's a really vital role. The dad has to. Don't you think? Didn't you do that for your kids? Like, seriously?
No, it was honestly a kind of like a mutual decision. So my oldest one, I wanted the name Katie. Like I've just always loved that name. And so she actually just countered me with, okay, we'll call her Katie, but her real name will be Catherine because I want it to be professional. And I was already like, hey, I don't have to fight this, so I'm just going to shut up. And then she chose the middle name, so I was just like, all right, whatever. Take what you get. And then my youngest daughter, we wanted to have a name that we could go either way. So if it was a boy or a girl, we were set in stone. So we threw a few names out and we kind of just discussed what was the one we liked the most. And we actually both agreed. So I lucked out. I think it's both ways. I don't think it's the girl that pushes it out chooses. So now you know my story. What's yours?
Okay. Well, yeah. No, I agree. It needs to be both parents. I just think in our lives, for sure, it is the dad's job to point out all the ways that the name's going to get made fun of. Like, you need to go in with your eyes wide open. Hypothetically speaking, if I had wanted to name a child Basil, he needed to go ahead and tell me as the dad that he was going to beat up my kid before anybody ever had a chance to, so that he was prepared for what the rest of his life was going to be. We didn't choose the name Basil. So yeah, no, it definitely has to be both. But
would it be basil or basil?
Basil. Basil's an herb. Basil is like Faulty Towers. Never saw.
Basil's so much different.
It's so much different. It's the difference between a food and a cool. Anyway, we ended up naming a car Basil instead.
Okay. Now, kind of another random question, obviously. Is avocado toast brilliant or is it toast abuse?
Toast abuse.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so recently me and the wife have become addicted to avocado toast with an egg on top. And even if you took the egg off, I think it is phenomenal. So I would absolutely go against you. Avocado toast is pretty freaking good. And
I
you
think
are
it's
missing out if you haven't
I,
tried.
no, I've tried it. I think it's a little bit like I think it's a little bit like people that ride bicycles, okay? And they ride bicycles and they think it's awesome until they drive a car. And then they're like, okay, actually, that was sort of sweaty and yuck, and I could just drive a car. I think the avocado toast is fine if you haven't had something better. So there's my pitch to you and your wife. I think you ought to go get yourself some multigrain toast and put some Nutella, orange slices, and kosher salt on top, and then call me in the morning.
Okay, but that definitely sounds like toast abuse. But I'll let the police sort this out later for you.
I'll try yours, you try mine. We'll be back on this show and see who won.
We might have to try that then.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Household pet peeves. Let's take, for example, the shoes on the floor. What do you think about all that?
I always just this came up in an unfortunate way. In my defense, I was tired. I don't generally leave my shoes on the floor, but for some reason, it was like the end all for my husband. He tripped on my shoes, and it's like, oh my goodness, why don't we put the shoes? And he's a totally mild mannered man, and so it was unusual. Anyway, and it got me thinking about it. Like, yeah, I personally don't so much mind, but I do reach the point with the kids where it's like, I missed my floor. I want the floor back. You give that back, and then we're good. But I'm aware, talking to other people, that sometimes it's like, why don't you ever close the cupboards? Why don't you ever turn off the lights? So I was curious what yours is.
Yeah, well, so if you speak on just the shoes alone, I think that's a little weird. I get the concept because I hate germs and things like that, but it is weird when I walk in a house and they're like, "Can you take your shoes off?" And I'm like,
Oh.
"Can I not make the house stink with my feet?" Or you see the holes in my socks because my wife hasn't bought me socks in a while. Well, at least I blame her for it, even though it's my fault. But
Sure.
leaving lights on, the kids do a lot. I'm sure girls are annoyed by the toilet seat being left up and not down. I get it. So those things kind of bother me. The bigger point that I hate is seeing dirty dishes on the counter and not in the dishwasher. Or if you take it one step further, did you put the bowls and the plates in the right spot or not?
Okay, so the dishwasher thing is going to have to be its own question then, because I have questions about that. It's something I think that I'm a really haphazard dishwasher loader. Like, oh, that seems to fit there, but I am aware and I'm related to people that have a system, right? And so if I think I'm being helpful, like, and we're going to go to grandma's house and I'm going to help load the dishes, I will actually see someone that shall remain nameless taking out the dishes to put them in correctly. So that sounds like it needs to be its own question. I think generally you and I don't sound like very easily peeved people. That's kind of what I'm getting.
I don't think we could have a relationship together. I think the naming our baby would probably be the killer right away. You want to do what?
That's probably fair, actually. And I was going to make a joke about hysterectomy, but that feels inappropriate too. So, okay, keep going.
All right. So real quick, what was your response to the bowls and plates? Do you have a correct spot, or does that not really bother you?
No, I'm the one that does the dishes. So probably the only time that it's even a bother, and it's more comedic than bothersome, is when I have help putting them away and I can't find anything. It's like, you live here too. How could the bowl have ended up in the silverware drawer? You live here too.
I would take putting up over washing. I do not like washing. I do it, but I just don't like it.
Okay.
So if I come over and you want me to put up dishes, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'll wash them. Please. Yeah, that's fine. I'll wash, you dry, and put away. That sounds good.
So
just won't name the kids.
All right. So what about flat tires? Okay. So what is your thought when it comes to, obviously most men know how to change a tire. If they don't, you probably shouldn't marry them in the first place. But
Word.
but what do you think about the wife knowing how to change a tire and if she should change the tire?
Yeah, two totally different questions. Like, should she know how? Sure, whatever. But there's all sorts of things that I just feel like as wives, you're not ever supposed to admit that you know how to do. Milking a cow, changing oil, taking out garbage. There's probably catching mice. That's probably another thing. It doesn't really matter if you know how to do it. We don't admit to that. So when it comes to flat tires in my household, there is a phrase, and my parents asked my now husband before we ever got married, like, okay, so she's on the side of the road and on the pass going across the state, and she calls you and says, "I've got a flat tire. What is your answer?" Your answer is not, "Well, I think there's a jack in the back," and you could do. Your answer is always, "The keys are in my hand. Tell me where you are." And that's how we raised our women.
That would be the Southern hospitality. Here's the deal, though. If a woman were trying to change her tire on the side of the road in Texas, you will not get away with it. Some guy, more than likely a redneck, will stop and he will put the tire on for you. I have even seen police officers change the tire for them. And we even have what is it? The city of Austin? No, it's TxDOT. TxDOT will have trucks that kind of drive around, especially during rush hour, and they will actually help work on cars that are stuck on the side of the road to help get things moving faster. So you won't get away with it here in Texas. However, I will teach my daughter how to change a tire. Do I want her doing it? Probably not, but it's a good thing to know, especially if she's out hunting, fishing on her own. She's probably not going to get a whole lot of help. The other caveat to it, though, is I pay for insurance. And on that insurance, we have roadside assistance. Use it.
Use it.
Otherwise, we're wasting our money on something that. So I've actually even thought about doing that too, but I hate sitting in the car thinking, I'm perfectly capable of doing this. I'm cleaner now. So,
yeah, your insurance company will make fun of you if you call them. But yeah, if your daughter does, see, I think so too. I don't know why I'm not in Texas. That just sounds like my kind of place. Because here, if you see a woman on the side of the road changing a tire, you're supposed to assume that she is a feminist. Leave her alone, man. She's going to chuck that tire iron at you. And yeah. I'm not. Y'all want to help, stop by.
Yeah. Now, even if you are a male on the side of the road changing your tire, odds are somebody's still going to stop to see if you have everything you need. So it really goes both ways here in Texas.
Okay.
So it's a win-win no matter what sex you are out here. And
so what I'm getting is women, get your husbands from Texas.
Yes. Are you racing go-karts over there? What is that?
No, I'm so sorry. This is what my life sounds like now. We are recent transplants to the western side of Washington State. And that is what life sounds like here. Just wrong, except when they occasionally lay on the horn. And I just think on our road, brief rant, on our road, there's a stoplight at either end. You think, where are you going this fast? You have to stop in like 25 seconds. I'm done. Go ahead. No,
so the last thing I would add to that whole question, though, is my wife is not capable of changing a tire. And I hope to God she never changes a tire ever, because I don't think it'll work out good. Plus, on top of that, I don't think she could lift the tire. So that's the other problem. But I will say this. If you get a flat tire, do not continue to drive on it, especially if your husband tells you, stop, don't do it, call an Uber, do something else, but do not drive on that flat tire any further.
Do you want me to PR that whole statement that you just made so that you have a home to go home to tonight? Because I think what you meant to probably say was, I just don't think she should ever have to lift a tire, because
I've had two wives, so you don't know that it's my current wife. So we'll leave it with that. How about that?
Okay, good enough.
Yeah, I'm not going to like these segments when they air, but the ones
I tried.
The questions get worse as time goes on. So, yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, Barb. Thanks for joining me on another one of these segments. Thanks for the questions. Guys, if you're listening or watching, please stay tuned. Please give us questions and give us feedback. If you don't like these episodes, then you got to tell us or just stop watching. You know, we can't do anything more without your help. So click like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Anything else you want to say, Barb?
Nope, that covers it. Thanks, guys.
Right. Guys, it was fun. Barb, say bye.
Bye.
This has been another episode of the Deciding Factor Extra, giving you food for thought on real-life issues. Be sure to click, like, and subscribe to this podcast, as well as all your big social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget to check out our website, thedecidingfactorpodcast.com, and give us comments and feedback. Until next time, stay safe and keep an open mind.